walked in there and he says, crikey, look at you. I said, what? He goes, look at your foot. I went, oh, my right foot was flaring out. I said, oh, no one's picked that up before. And he goes, crikey, look at you, your shoulders down, your hips are out like this. And he threw me on these dual scales, 2 scales, and I stepped on and I was 20 kgs heavier on one side than what I was on the other. Okay? So my whole balance was out, everything. So regardless of how strong I was through the core and how flexible I was, my whole pelvis was out of alignment. Okay? The structure was gone. So the mechanics of my spine just weren't working. And no one had ever bothered picking that up. And then he said to me, well, what do the x-rays show? And I said, well, nobody's bothered taking x-rays. And he goes, that's terrible. So what he did is he took x-rays, and you could see on my x-rays this huge imbalance in my pelvis. You could see the curvature of my spine. And this had been progressing slowly over a period of years. Since, and I'm assuming since 1984 when I fractured my patella. Okay? And this has been progressively getting worse and worse, and as I said, my body couldn't adapt any further, and it let me know in the form of pain. And anti-inflammatories weren't going to get there at all. So then I began a course of chiropractic care, and what it involved then was obviously just mobilising the sacroiliac joints, mobilising the spine, trying to get my balance back. And I remember the first time that I had that chiropractic adjustment was like a sledgehammer hitting concrete. Because he got me on the side and he actually mobilised the sacroiliac joints, and nobody had ever bothered doing that before. And it was like this whole surge of energy coming through my low back. I felt as though I could run. And within 2 months I was back playing rugby again. And so what I did then is I wanted to pursue my chiropractic career. Okay, I wanted to be a chiropractor, and I had the opportunity then to get a rugby scholarship and go to the USA. And while I was over there, I fulfilled the 3-year residency requirements, I guess, of American rugby, and I was selected into the USA national side. And I'll never forget their standing singing the national anthem as we're supposed to do as Americans, and thinking about this orthopedic surgeon that told me that I'd never play rugby again. Okay? So no one had given chiropractic a try at all. No one had mentioned to me about chiropractic. It was just getting shoved from a doctor to a physio to an orthopedic surgeon, just going through the medical route. Okay? So what I want to do today is convey to you guys what it is that I do, what is chiropractic, because it is the most misunderstood profession in the world. Everybody's got an opinion on it. Right? If I even introduce myself as a chiropractor in social situations, it's always, oh, I never do it with a chiropractor, I hate it, oh. And I always say, well, it's unfortunate you had a bad experience with a chiropractor. Who did you see? And every single time it's like, oh no, I've never been to a chiropractor. But it's the perception that people get. The perception that they get is that we were bone crunchers, okay, we're just quacks. I don't know, there's all these other nasty names out there as well, but people don't understand what it is we do. And so hopefully that I can convey to you guys. And by the end of it, I'm convinced that you guys will understand that the most important people that you guys should be working with in the wellness profession are chiropractors, not anybody else. Okay? So hopefully that's my goal today, is to convince all you guys. Okay? So have an open mind about it, because I know that some of you have probably been to chiropractors, maybe you haven't, but you've heard stories or whatever, and I'll allay all those fears today. Alright? So what is chiropractic? Who's been to a chiropractor? Anybody here? Yep, you've been to chiropractors. Good experiences, bad experiences? Good? Yep. Yep, sorry? Bad, yeah. And unfortunately there are. And look, I've been part of the chiropractic board, but I've taken chiropractors before the licensing board and had them expelled before, simply because of bad practice. Now there's bad apples in every profession, unfortunately, and the chiropractic profession is no different. But look, on the whole, 99% of chiropractors are honest, we're straight up, we're obviously focused on our patients, and we're focused on wellness. It's one of the things I want to cover today, is the difference between wellness and sickness. And it's a really, really big thing, and I want to explain the 2 differences there. But first I want to explain what chiropractic is all about. I look at chiropractic as aligning the spine so you'll feel fine. It's a real basic concept. Okay? So this is why I brought in my little friend here, as Paul said, the little white thing. What's the most important part of our bodies, guys? I always ask patients, what's the most important part of the body? What do you think?
Skeleton.
Skeletal system? You're the one that's been to a chiropractor before?
Yeah.
So a lot of people say, oh, the heart. Without the heart we can't live. And I say, yeah, exactly, without the heart we can't live. The lungs are really important. Yeah, without the lungs we can't obviously get oxygen into the body. But they're very important organs, but without the nerve supply to the heart, the nerve supply to the heart and the lungs are absolutely worthless. And I liken it to the wiring of this building here. If we look at this building and say, what's the most important part of this building? Well, obviously you need the exercise equipment, you need the bones, you need the lighting. But the most important part of this building is the big cable that comes in and supplies this building with the power and the electricity. we cut that cable, basically this building is defunct. Okay, nothing can work there. I suppose you can use the exercise equipment, but at night time it would be pretty dark. You need those lights. You certainly wouldn't be taking any phone calls. You certainly couldn't use the computers as well without the power. Okay. So the most important part of the spine, as this lady has alluded to, is the skeletal system. And the reason it is the most important part is because it houses the nervous system. The nervous system is the most important part of our body, and it's so important that it needs a structure or protectoral structure. So you've got your brain through here, you've got your skull housed in a protective casing, you've got your spinal cord that runs all the way down through here, and through all these specially designed holes run all the nerves. And the nerves supply absolutely everything in the body. Okay, your fingertips, your toes, it supplies the skin, it supplies your hair, your nails. There's not one part of the body that escapes the dominance of the nervous system. Okay? So what can happen here, and this is where the most important part, is that the chiropractic relies on the relationship between function, okay, between the function, which is the spine, and the nervous system. If there's a dysfunction within the spine in some way, okay, whether there's a tight muscle, whether there's inflammation of the joint, whether there's curvature of the spine, it can impinge then on these poor old nerves. Alright? And if those nerves are impinged, it's a bit like a garden hose that's been kinked out. No matter how hard you turn on the tap, the water's not going to get through. Okay, so if that nerve is impinged, and that nerve there is supplying the arm, the obvious thing is that we're getting pins and needles into the hands. Okay, or it's numbness or dead arm. But if that nerve was also supplying the heart and the lungs, as we talked about before, do you think the heart and the lungs will function as well as what they should? It's a bit like a short circuit, isn't it? Okay? Like the wiring, as I said, sometimes we get a light bulb that will flicker on and off, but there's a short circuit there. There's a short circuit within the spine, and the body's not going to work properly. Okay? When we talk about wellness, we're talking about a healthy, happy, functioning spine and a healthy, happy, functioning nervous system. Because the nervous system also supplies the immune system as well. The nervous system supplies your bowel and your bladder, your stomach, everything. So 9 times out of 10, or even 99 times out of 100, people will come into my clinic and present with a symptom. And the symptom generally will be neck pain or back pain. Because that's what people associate chiropractors with, is back pain or neck pain. Once we go through a course of care or we go through a history, all of a sudden we get out of these people that, oh yeah, I get headaches probably 2 or 3 times a week, that's normal. And I always say, well, what's a normal headache? There's no such thing as a normal headache. Oh yeah, I go to the toilet 20 times a night, I don't know what it is, but I just get up and go to the toilet, there's nothing much there, or whatever. Bladder problems. Yeah, I get tightness of the chest, I got a bit of asthma, but that's nothing to do with chiropractic. Well, I say it is. I say it is simply because, as I said, if the body's not working properly, it's going to let you know in the form of different symptoms that something's wrong. And guarantee when we go through and we align the spine and we get rid of the neck pain and the back pain, 99 times out of 100, the headaches disappear. People feel more energy. It's like, crikey, I'm not going to the toilet 20 times a night. I've had patients who have described their skin clearing out. Just amazing results simply by aligning the spine. Okay? Very, very important. That's the basic premise there of chiropractic, is that we're looking at dysfunction in the spine, okay, and then we get rid of the dysfunction, make sure there's no nerve impingement, and then get the body working properly again. Okay? So again, we're always looking for symptoms, but symptoms is sickness-based, isn't it? When we look at the healthcare system here in New Zealand, the healthcare system is based on what? Symptoms. It's based on how we feel. Okay? I don't look at that as health at all. Because the way we feel isn't necessarily the way we are, and it's a real hard one to get your head around. Like, I can stand here now and think, oh cool, now I feel good. But again, there's probably things going on in my body that aren't working properly. Okay? Possibly there's some tight muscles there. I can feel through my mid-back, it's a little bit tight there. So maybe it's impinging on a nerve. Who knows? Okay, so the way we feel isn't necessarily the way we are. It's a real hard one to get your head around. Hopefully with you guys, when your clients are presenting too, that you guys do a proper structural check. I'm pretty sure that you guys do. You're very professional in that regard. So when we talk about a structural check, what we're looking for is any imbalance, eh? Okay? You're looking for a difference in shoulder level height, maybe you're looking for a difference in hip level height, tightness of the hamstring muscles or hip flexors or whatever. Do you guys do dual scale checks? Checking balance, weight distribution, etc. Very, very important, because again, you can pick different things up there as well. I'll get so many people that stand up straight, yeah, okay, I'm standing straight. And you see them standing like this. And it's happened over a period of time. It's not something that happened yesterday 9 times out of 10 either. It's something that's happened over a long, long period. And it could just be posture. It's standing like this, I see mums carrying their babies all the time on one hip. People sitting at a computer, they're rounding their shoulders, they're like this. Okay, driving cars, people who drive cars for long periods of time, sit there like this, put on the accelerator. Okay? When we do that often enough, as I said before, the analogy about doing bicep curls. If you only do bicep curls on one arm, you're going to create an imbalance. You do that often enough, all of a sudden, gee, now I've got shoulder pain. Now I'm really tight through one side of the chest. And you'll see this huge development on one side compared to another. Or people that have broken legs or using crutches. Again, it's this repetitive thing that they're doing. But the healthcare system in New Zealand only acknowledges symptoms. And if you get a symptom, there's got to be a cause for it. And this is the big battle that we have with ACC at the moment. And I had an ACC guy ring me last week and he says, we talked about a patient, and he goes, well, how come you're treating his thoracic spine when he's got a low back injury? And I said, because his thoracic spine is contributing to his low back injury. No, he's injured his lower back. You've only put his recode down as S572, which is lumbar spine strain. So you're not allowed to treat his mid-back. Yeah, that's how pathetic it is. But that's the mindset of our healthcare people at the moment. And so I explained to this guy from ACC, I said, look, the latissimus muscle, where does it attach to? He goes, well, I don't know. What do you mean? I said, the latissimus muscle attaches from T7 to T12, the thoracic spine, but it also attaches into the iliac spine as well. The latissimus muscle attaches from here, runs up through the back, runs around through the, attaches into the humerus, biceps of the humerus, biceps tendon, I think. But the latissimus muscle is a huge muscle and attaches into the thoracic spine. I said, and this guy also had a decreased range of movement in his neck. I said he only had 40 degrees movement in his neck, both sides. Do you think that would contribute to his low back? And he goes, no, what's that? I mean, if you think he had a neck injury, you should have put neck down. I said, but his neck wasn't sore, but his neck was contributing to his low back injury. Because again, if someone has a decreased movement of the neck, what do? We compensate and use our low back. We do that often enough, the low back's going to get sore. Just because the low back's sore doesn't necessarily mean that it's the low back that's the problem. Does that make sense to you? Okay? So I explained to this guy, I said, look, I said, he injured himself digging a hole. I said, so everybody that digs a hole, will they get injured? And this guy said, no. I said, why not? And he goes, probably because there's an underlying cause. And I said, yeah, like a decreased range of movement in the neck. And he goes, oh, well possibly. Okay? I'm going to show you a classic example here when we talk about low back injuries and the cause being far removed from the area of pain. Okay? Here's a guy, a firefighter. He came in to see me in 2002, and I use him. He's a classic example. Now, Charles had been into hospital. He had bad back pain. He couldn't walk. He'd gone into hospital, but they gave him Tramol, all the wicked painkillers, etc. And they x-rayed his low back. Now, again, I just want to